In the headlines, gun violence continues as the island records one new homicide in Vieux Fort. A suspect is arrested for the murder of a St. Lucian national in St. Martin, and the Ministry of Education answers burning questions surrounding the reopening of school. All this and more coming up in tonight's broadcast.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Loveless and Amy Joseph.
Good evening. It is Tuesday, the 19th of January 2021. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow Channel 117, also being simulcast on Kiss FM 105.5 and 105.9 radio. I'm Rochelle Gonzalez, standing in for lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for tuning in. St. Lucia has recorded yet another homicide, this time in the south of the island. On the evening of Monday, the 18th of January 2021, a male victim was shot in Grays Vieux Fort. Superintendent of Police with responsibility for crime management in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, George Nicholas, gave the details on the matter.
Vieux Fort police responded to an incident in Grays Vieux Fort, where upon arrival, they found the body of Malcolm Celestin of Grays Vieux Fort with what appeared to be multiple gunshot wounds about the body. He was transported to the St. Jude's Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. No further details are available at this moment in relation to this latest homicide.
According to reports, Celestin was well known to law enforcement. The RSLPF says investigations into the matter continue. This was the first homicide for the south of the island for the year so far. In other news, on Tuesday, January 12, 2021, police in St. Martin arrested a suspect in connection with an ongoing investigation into the fatal shooting which resulted in the death of St. Lucian national Jamie Dupree. The shooting took place on Monday, July 27, 2020 at around 10 p.m. on the Hyssop Road in Cahill. On the night of the shooting, police encountered the victim lying on the side of the road with no signs of life. The arrest of the suspect last week was carried out in the area of Hyssop Road without complications by the police arrest team. Before being transported to the police station, a house search was conducted at the residence of the suspect. During this search, items relating to the investigation were encountered and confiscated. The suspect was later taken to the police station in Phillipsburg, where he is being held pending further investigation. The lives versus livelihood debate remains a hot topic of discussion across St. Lucia with regard to opening of various sectors of the economy. The education sector is one of significant importance for the country as the need for children to be given quality instruction remains. Officials on Monday attempted to reassure the public that the risks associated with children being at home far outweigh those of them being in schools once the guidelines are adhered to.
The education sector remains a vital player in the country's economy as students are trained for the world of work and are expected to contribute to the island's GDP. Fast forward to COVID-19, and schools have been disrupted for months on end, leaving the public anxious about the safety of their children while they return to the classroom or the vital instruction that they would have lost while being away. Officials have agreed that returning students to the classroom was the best decision on many fronts and goes beyond just health and learning. The Chief Environmental Health Officer asserted on Tuesday that the risk associated with reopening schools were weighed, and the consensus is that it is more beneficial for children to be in the classroom than away from it.
We believe that if protocols are adequately implemented and managed in a school environment, you are reducing the risk of the persons who are in that environment. So that would be both teachers and students and administrators. Therefore, we are cognizant that given where we are at, the system that must actually work is a system that would allow for adequate contact tracing should the need arise.
Raghanan says that a dedicated contact tracing team is critical at this point in St. Lucia's COVID-19 fight.
We would look at the at-risk population, we would look at those who were exposed, and then it would be determined who needs to be quarantined, who needs to get a COVID test done, and at what time, and who can remain and perform their duties on the job. So we are very much committed to doing that. And that is why we want to continue to work with the education sector as well as all other sectors, because they are all very, very important to the development of St. Lucia. And no one should be disadvantaged in this COVID environment that we're in.
The Center for Disease Control reports that the true incidence of COVID-19 in children is not known due to a lack of widespread testing and the prioritization of testing for adults and those with severe illness. Recent evidence suggests that compared to adults, children likely have similar viral loads in their noses and throats and can spread the virus to others. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Because still to come, the Ministry of Education responds to concerns surrounding COVID-19 cases in schools. The NSC calls on the Ministry of Education once again to revert to online schooling, and the SLP calls for new leadership.